All right, hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Comic Book Radio, episode 26. Tonight I have Billy TUCCI as a guest. Billy TUCCI. Now, we're starting a little bit late tonight because the weather is not cooperating, and we've had a couple of not full-blown power outages, brownouts? I don't know. We've lost the power a little bit here and there. But it looks like the storm is passing, so we should be okay. If we do lose power and I'm frozen, it is what it is, and we'll see you next time. But we should be fine. So tonight's show, again, we have Billy TUCCI on board. He's going to be here till 9 o'clock, and then I'm going to continue for another half hour with you guys. If you have anything you'd like to talk about, we can talk about that. I want to start off, though, first and foremost, by wishing my deepest condolences to John Romita Jr. and John Romita's family in general. I got my John Romita shirt on today of Spider-Man. Absolute all-time favorite Spider-Man artist for me, John Romita. Oh, man. And from all accounts, seemed like a really, really great guy. And his art was inspiring, and he's going to live with us forever and ever because of it. But the loss still obviously hits. All right, so without further ado, and thank you guys all for being here, we've got Billy TUCCI right here, ready to go. So here we are. Welcome, Billy TUCCI.
Oh! What's up, brother? And I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was a punch in the gut, that one. I mean, I texted with John Romita this morning, and I knew that his dad wasn't, was having some health problems these past couple of years, these last few years. But, it's still, he's 93 years old. What an amazing life he had, and how he inspired millions, and especially all of us cartoonists and all. And just a shame. And it's a part of life, but it doesn't make it any easier,
No, it doesn't make it any easier at all. But he does live on in his work. And with John Romita, it was one of those things, too, where if you didn't read the Spider-Man comics that he had art in, chances are you own merch that has his Spider-Man on it, Yeah. So in one way or another, you knew his Spider-Man. His Spider-Man, to me, is definitive.
It sure is, 100%.
Man, nothing like it. So much life, so much energy. Just looking at it fills me with happiness, Great stuff.
And even, his Mary Jane and all. I mean, just...
Oh, yeah.
It's just, wow,
Absolutely.
Like I said, we're just sort of... what a loss. Just a big loss for all of us. Just, it is. And again, my condolences, too, to the Romita family. And, we just love them. We've known Johnny's one of the first people that welcomed Debbie and I into comics. We met them at San Diego Comic-Con. I think Jimmy Palmiotti introduced us to John Romita, and then he introduced me to everybody. And I'd met his dad before, and just, they're just great, great people. And he was really a prince of a man, John Romita Sr. really was. Absolutely.
It's the Cole King says Cormac McCarthy passed away also. Two amazing artists lost. Yeah. He had was that yesterday or was that 2 days ago? I can't keep track.
I don't know. I think Johnny, though, John Sr. passed away on Monday, but they let everyone know yesterday, or late last night. He let everyone know. Still, sucks. But
he will be fondly remembered.
Yep.
All right. So moving on to a happier topic, more or less. We have Billy TUCCI here, who I have titled as the unbreakable Billy TUCCI.
I may bend a little, but I'll never break.
Do you know why, Billy?
No, I do not.
Okay, I'm not going to dive into it, but it's that comics broke me nonsense.
Yeah. come on.
I thought your post was great. I thought your
So,
post was great. I mean, people had hijacked that whole post into something that was completely
yeah,
whatever it
and I
was, and
never.
it's turned into something that it's going to become this big, ugly, weird thing. Instead of being like what we saw for John Romita, which was, R.I.P. John Romita, or you're
Mhm.
sharing John Romita's work, or whatever it might have been, which is to honor him and his work. It turned into this thing that had happened to Ian McGinty, which no one knows. No one knows about what has actually occurred. His family
Right,
has chosen to remain private with it, which is by
right.
all means, respect their privacy in terms of that.
Yes.
It's a horrible, sad thing. And instead of it turning into that, it turned into this.
Yeah, it was
We try
nuts.
to keep it a family-friendly show, but it turned into a complain fest.
Yes.
I have to catch myself a little bit of a thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, come on, right? So I thought what you had posted was great. I thought it was inspiring. I thought it
Yeah.
would be something to talk about tonight. Not what you
Sure.
posted, but the spirit of what you had
Yeah.
posted, because it's so important. So you had posted something along the lines of saying that comics have really helped you dig out of a hole in life, and the great things that, because of your dedication and devotion
Yeah.
to the comics and to specifically what you had created, it really brought you out and made you be this I don't know, this juggernaut of a person that you
No,
are,
I'm
right?
not a juggernaut. I find so. First of all, when I saw that trending, I did not. They had hijacked that thread so awfully that you couldn't even find the original post about Ian. You know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
definitely couldn't.
So then
Yeah,
I was like, comics broke me out of poverty because I was incredibly poor. I was
yeah,
26 years old, 6 months behind in my rent. And I had this dream that I wanted to make a comic, and make a comic, and I had gone through, all that. I'd gone to Marvel. I met John Romita actually. So interesting story with John Romita Senior is that it was. So I'll tell you this. So I go to San Diego Comic Con in 1993. I have no money. I use all the last of my savings or savings, whatever I had in the bank. I didn't have any savings, and went to meet all went to meet all the editors. A lot of them were very arrogant, no shame, no, just mean, nasty people. Um, I didn't get anything from it. So the art I had was, I don't know, the first 6 pages or 7 pages of sheet number one, and I didn't get any work. Someone did offer me, I think from DC, if I could draw like Jim Lee, and I didn't want to draw like Jim Lee. I don't think I can draw like Jim Lee. I love Jim Lee's work, but
yeah, that
anyway,
time period.
yeah. So anyway, I met Brian Polito. He inspired me. Here's this guy, this energetic Jersey guy, and he's doing his own comic, and I was really crestfallen at first, and then I got on the plane going home, and I'm like, I grabbed those pages and I started looking through them, like, I could fix this panel, I could fix this, I could fix that. I'm like, the hell with this, I'm gonna do my own damn book. So by the time I got set up to go to Marvel to meet with John Romita, I probably had 12, I might have 20 pages of the first 32-page story done. And I went with John, I went there, and this is a few months later, and this is August of 93. So this might be October of 93. Um, so I go to this 2 months after San Diego, 3 months after San Diego. Now I have a whole bunch more pages. I fixed the other pages I didn't like. I go to John Romita and I meet with him, and he's like, "Well, what is this? What is this story?" I said, "Well, that's my comic book I'm putting out next year." And he's like, "You're making your own comic book?" I'm like, "Yeah." I told him the story, and I said on the way home I decided to, the hell with these people. Because he was really nice. He wasn't a dick like all these other. Sorry, it's family fitness
It's
show, like these
it's
other
okay.
editors.
He wasn't a
And
Richard.
yeah, yeah, and
He was a John.
he goes, "Well, what the heck are you doing here for? If you're doing your own comic?" I said, "Well, I don't know if it's going to take off, and I've always wanted to draw for Marvel and DC." He's like, "You know what?" He goes, "Billy, here's my card. If your comic book doesn't work out," he goes, "this is great. If your comic book doesn't work out, call me. I'll have work for you at Marvel." That's what he said. And of course, the book came out, and here I am with you. And the thing is that me, Brian Polito, Jeff Smith, Terry Moore, a couple of others, that we were all self-publishers, and we all came out at the same time. Now, Lady Death, Vampirella, that started a whole nother genre, another explosion with the Bad Girls. because those books all came out in sequence. You know, like Lady Death. I didn't even know Lady Death was coming out, even though I'd met Brian. He'd hired me to do a pinup, and I did a pinup, which ended up being in the Lady Death swimsuit issue. But Lady Death came out in February. She came out in March, and then Vampirella came out in April. And they were just something different, I guess. You know, these beautiful girls, whatever, hot chicks, and
kicking ass and everything. Yeah.
And it gave the industry a whole. It literally gave the industry a kick in the ass. I had a lot of retail saying thank you for doing this book because things were going down, and so I've always been a champion for independent creators, for the spirit of independence. I wear it as a badge of honor, and what I was trying to do with that, again, I did not see the thing about this young man who died. I don't know how. I don't know if maybe he wasn't healthy because he wasn't making any money. But I just saw people whining. Yeah. I just saw these people whining. And then I said, comics, like I said, comics broke me out of poverty and gave me a life that I was able, from a one family household, I was able to provide for my family, for my wife and my children. And we've got a great life, and it's all because of the fans. And I said it, God bless comic books. God bless you fans out there, because I'd have nothing without you. But then I wanted to give a little advice, and don't work for Marvel and DC, because the worst years of my career was when I was working for Marvel and DC. Because you're at their beck and call. It doesn't matter how many awards you get nominated for. It doesn't matter how the reviews of your book. If you're not in that club, you're out. And again, another thing with me is that
it's been like that for quite some time.
Oh yeah, too. And so I'll tell you an interesting story is that there was a big book coming out that a friend of mine wrote, famous comic artist, and he wanted me to draw it. And I'm like, yeah, I'd love to do that. That'd be great. So he went to Marvel with it, and the guy said, yeah, Billy would be great for this, but, fuck Billy Tucci. And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, the guy's a Republican.
I need a censor button for Billy.
Sorry, I apologize. And my friend told me this. So he said, I'm not hiring Billy Tucci. And he said, why? He goes, the guy's a Republican. This is 2012. So this is way before Trump derangement syndrome, all this stuff when they lost their minds. This is because I am a moderate person, and I am a moderate, maybe a little more right of center. But then again,
yeah, I wouldn't call you extreme right at all.
Yeah, no. But again, maybe I am now because, 10 years ago.
We all do now. Yeah, I mean, I used to think I was liberal.
Yeah, me too.
Now I'm finding people are thinking I'm all right.
Well, 10 years ago, we were liberal, and now we're considered right wing. You know what I mean? Like,
oh goodness,
so
yeah,
that's how much it's changed. We're still here, but everything else went left. And we're now we're like, oh my God, look at these guys. These guys right here.
Yeah.
These guys. Look at these guys. These guys are crazy. Nuts.
Absolutely.
So I believe in working hard and doing your best and taking your lumps and just keep getting up and coming back, because we had rough times, but we're still here. We've had the best 2 years in 25, thanks to the crowdfunding and everybody out there who's been supporting our books. And now we're back in comic shops. We're going to start again up in comic shops in the fall. I might wait though till December. I want a good month because I want the cover. We're talking to Diamond. I know you don't do Diamond, but we're talking previews. So I want a cover.
Maybe you can whip them into shape, and then I won't have to say anything bad about them.
There you go. Well, we'll see. Right now, they came to us at San Diego and wanted us to. They wanted
Good.
us to come back in comic shops, and we offered 400 copies of our first omnibus, because I only have maybe 300 left after that, and they all sold out the first order. Boom, 400 of them, $100 book. So, thank you, fans out there.
Good.
And they said it's a reorder. We're like, we don't have any books.
Well, I mean, like I said, when it came to what you had posted, I thought that it wasn't. I didn't think you were bragging or hijacking anything or whatever. I thought the thing was, when I found out, I thought it was long gone in terms of hijacking by other people.
Yeah.
Making someone else who's suffering their own, apparently. Yeah. Instead of just honoring somebody's life. But with yours, it's to me, I look at your situation, which we're talking about, and I look at a lot of other people's as well, and it's inspiring. It's lessons to learn from. You take a little bit of something that maybe can apply to you. Maybe you go, wow, I thought this person just, because this is always the thing, right? With anyone successful, people look at it and they just see the end result and they just think, oh, they must have always been successful with everything all the time, forever and ever, no struggles. Just they just, as soon as they came out into the scene, everything was great. And that's just not true for so many people. I'd say like 99% of successful people.
Yes.
It's, unless you're coming from nepotism, and a long line of it, you're most likely not going to have any kind of just you pop on the scene and show up and barely do the minimum and all of a sudden things are great. So most people out there are working their butts off, and there's something to learn from that, and there's something to pay attention to. I pay attention to stuff like that, and I try to learn. And the sunglasses well deserved
Bro,
at this point.
I forgive me. I
Um,
don't even know what I was thinking. Look at you, and now look now. Now we're
See, well, I need them because if I don't wear them, I get migraines.
Oh, really?
So it's not a cool thing at all.
My poor wife gets migraines too.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did the blue light thing, and that's just not strong enough. I need tinted lenses, and then if I'm on the computer too much, I need sunglasses, and they're prescription.
Poor
But
man.
the
Poor
most
man.
of the chat knows this anyway. It's not as cool as you might think. But yeah, so
Like,
I
man,
love what you
hung
had.
out with you. You are cool.
I love what you had posted. Um, and I'm glad you even left it up and you tried to clarify too.
Yeah,
Because if everyone is going to hijack it and turn it into a thing about how bad the industry is, your words ring truer than ever before.
yeah,
Because it's like, hey, look at this. You can learn and champion whatever creativity you might have and channel that into maybe something positive that digs you out of this bad place that you're in.
yeah. And I
Um,
told him, and I said, there's never been a better time in comics to self promote and to get your
oh,
own
there's so
work
many
out there,
tools at our
right?
disposal.
But
Oh,
these people love to use the internet for nothing more than negativity because they're negative, they're weirdos. They've got a lot of problems. Because one guy I had to block the one guy because just all of his assumptions and everything. He doesn't know me. He doesn't know my
oh,
story.
they immediately jumped down your throat. That was
Yeah,
crazy.
and it's
Yeah.
like, what are you? Who the heck are you? So, um, it's and I like to call this a new golden age of creator-owned work because you could do a web comic. They have Eisner Awards for digital comics and web comics. You could build a following with a web comic. Everybody wants an overnight success. Everybody wants to make a movie. Everybody wants a television series. All this stuff I'm missing. I'm not reading them. Sorry, I'll get to it. But they don't want to put the
Oh
work
no,
in.
I'm just highlighting them up. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, okay. Oh, they want, they don't want to put the work in, or they're incapable of it. So, okay, here's a story. What if I go back, Billy Tucci, 30 years ago, right? And I went. Now it's she that I have this book. Before I publish it under my own company, Crusade Comics, and create my company and everything like that, I go to several other printers, other publishers. One of which, and I like to joke, and we still joke today. I haven't seen him in 2 years though. Is Adam Post. So Adam Post had Triumphant Comics. And I went to Adam Post with my creator-owned book, and basically what Adam said was, Billy, uh, he said, yeah, we're going to pass because girl books just don't sell.
And when was this? What year again?
93 or yeah,
93.
93. So he basically just blew me. He's like, yeah, but girl books don't sell, and if they did, you wouldn't be. And if we do publish it though, you would start making royalties around 50,000 copies. So I'm like, so if this
Wow.
was Billy Tucci, say the whiner, if I was a whiner 30 years ago, that this happened to me today, I'd be like, oh, yet another publisher turned me down. And would you believe it?
Misogynist Texas.
Yeah, this misogynist said to me, girl books don't sell. We should do a hashtag of that. Hashtag girl books don't sell. And let's make that our thing. Maybe I'll even do that now and start a whole thing. You know what I mean? And just whine about it instead of saying, okay, well, I guess I gotta, this is my dream. I want to make comics. If they can do it, why can't I? If Todd McFarlane can do it, why can't I?
Yeah.
And that's really, I had no idea how to make a comic. I had no idea how comics got into shops. I had no idea about any of the production of it. And here I was. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to make a full color comic book series. And I did that, and I basically learned. I went to the library. I went to retailers. I spoke to what who else I talk to? People in the book district, in the book industry, things like that, just to try to learn everything I
Yeah,
can.
you learned as much as you could.
Yep. And then I did something else. Is that my enthusiasm was contagious apparently, and I met someone. You just meet people, and somebody introduced me to Comic Color, which was out on Long Island, a friend of the family or something, and Comic Color was doing color separations. So I went there with my color separations. I had the book to talk to them. I had no money, Peter. I was broke, and there was one man there, and his name was Fred Pierce, who was at Valiant Comics and became the president of publishing of Valiant Comics and all. And I think because I was so enthusiastic that he vouched for me to do this, to have them do my color separations without me paying, and put a phone
Wow.
call into Sparta Printing, where they get their books printed, for them to print my comic. So I told him I have the numbers. I have 37,000 orders, but I can't get paid until I ship the book. And because of that, I am in debt to him to this day. I love that man. That I was able to to get the books done. And trust me, as soon as I got that check from Diamond, the first people I paid was Sparta Printing. But another thing I did though was that the more research I did, you learned that an issue number one through a distributor traditionally is, say it sells here, right? Issue number two, automatically that you solicit the next month, drops by half, they say. So I'm like, really? So what I did was I then went and I did not solicit she number two until 3 months later. So she number one was solicited for March, April, May. She number two was solicited for June, because I knew that when they would order number two was when number one was in the shops. And I just had this feeling, I don't know if it was my naivete or just loving this property and being so engrossed into publishing my own comics, that I knew this book was going to be a hit. In my heart of hearts, I knew it. Here I was, in my one-bedroom apartment in Queens, with no money, eating noodles and noodles every day. And wouldn't you know it, that book hit the stands. It sold out. Within 3 weeks of number one hitting the stands, I had reorders for over 140,000 copies.
Fantastic.
I'm like, there's only 50,000 of them. So that's it. I saved 1,000 for myself, of course, that I would sell at shows and things like that. But it was crazy. But also, when if that book sells out, retailers go into previews to see where Crusade Comics, issue number two, boom, there's issue number two. Issue number one orders were 37,000. I probably shipped 47,000 or maybe 48,000. And issue number two, we had pre-orders for 80,000, and they just kept going up. Because
Man, what a different time with distribution.
Yeah, yep, indeed.
Wow, man, oh man. But that's the craziest part, though. So people, I know they might see or hear this particular story and go, oh, well, back then with the books, they sold better and this and that. Okay, so first of all, they're not assessing the industry as to why books are selling better. That's a whole other conversation.
No.
But they're not going and taking stock of it at now, where you, at this point in time, let's say you were starting off and doing that, you could go and have crowdfunder. I mean, you do this right now anyway. But you could have crowdfunders, your own website. You get on social media. You can spread the word now more than ever before. Cultivate an audience, et cetera, et cetera. It's easier now more than ever before, as opposed to, I mean, imagine half of these people out there that are complaining about the thing they're complaining about and having to actually do the literal get up, go drive, talk to people kind of a thing. It's not going to happen for a lot of them. No. So now more than ever, and color separations, the way it used to be done, forget it. Yeah, I think 90-something% of the industry of people who are in it right now would have no idea.
No, absolutely not. And then the colors, you had the color guide, the colors, you had to write 032 for this red.
Oh, yeah.
You had to do color, you literally had to do color guides and then color, I forget what we even called it. It's been, thank God, it's been so long. You would do, all this stuff for the printer, for the color separator, so he could match all the colors and stuff. It was crazy. It was so much work. And again, like I said, I lived in Queens. I got on that subway. and I took the subway, I took the bus to every retailer I could. I went to Comic Cons. I went to retailers at the comic book convention, showing them the full color, because it was hand painted, the first G issue, by my buddy Barry Orkin. And some guys like, wow, this is really cool. Some guys like, yeah, not interested. And that's another thing. The majority of retailers do not want to sell your book. They want your book to sell for them. They don't want
Absolutely.
to your book. That's
Yep.
too much. They got too much work, and I get it. They got too much going on.
It's too many books, all this kind of stuff. Yeah.
Right. Right.
Yeah, they're counting on the legacy brand essentially nowadays more than ever before, because there are more books now than ever before. And then also they have finite space, right? I mean, the shop's only so big.
Yep.
So 100%, I get that system. But then what do you do, right? Do you sit there and just either fold or complain about that and do nothing? Or do you go, you know what, that's the way it is. Yeah, is it, kind of suck? Yeah, it kind of sucks. But what's my alternatives? What can I do? What can I do to still get this book out there? And that's what you got to do. I mean, that's what we had to do. So I wasn't necessarily, and I've said it before, so I've had problems with Diamond, but I had far more problems with the book distributors. I had way more problems with Newsstand. As far as the distributors I ever dealt with, as many problems as I had with Diamond, I had the least problems with Diamond compared to everybody else.
Right. Right.
So, and that says a lot about how the system is outside of that.
And another thing about the system, comics are entertainment, right? Just because you're an actor and you want to act does not make you a movie star. You do not deserve to be a movie star. Not everyone's going to be a movie star. Steve Buscemi does not have the career of Brad Pitt or Tom Cruise.
He's great.
Tom Cruise is an effing movie star, right? You know what I mean? Let's say you can have great at Treat Williams, a friend of mine who passed away, incredible actor, a true artist. He never had the career of, say, a Tom Hanks, because he wasn't Tom Hanks. But because you want to be an actor in entertainment, it does not give you a guarantee, it is not your right to make a living as an actor, a good living. Just like it's not a right to make a living at doing comics. You could love comics all you want. You could love the art. You can have your story, but don't bitch, that it doesn't take off. I'm sorry. If mine didn't take off, I wouldn't be here. I would be doing something else.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. That's the way it is. But these people too, they get a taste of fame, or they get it out there, and then once it dries up, say, that they have too much pride that they will not get a job at, say, a doctor's office, or being a receptionist, working at a coffee house or something like that, because that's beneath them. They are comic book creators, so they would rather starve or put up.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to go all the way to that end of it and say leave your field. You have to literally just humble yourself to your audience and say, okay, I did this. Yeah, that's great. But now I'm doing this other thing. Here's where I'm doing it. Let the people know about it, and humble yourself to them, and show some gratitude and build that audience up and point them in a direction. It's not even something where like, oh, you got to leave if things aren't working out on your next project or whatever it may be, or successes and all of a sudden just falling on your lap. There's so many other options that so many people are not taking nowadays. Right. And so it's crazy to see the mentality of, well, if we're loud enough and we complain enough and we're angry enough and we talk about how awful this entire industry is, then people in power will give us more money.
Right.
It's like, no, you have to prove value. You have to go scoreboard. You know what I mean? So you have to put up a crowdfunder, put up some kind of something where you can show publicly, look, people want what I'm doing. And then you can use that leverage, but a lot of people aren't doing that. And they're kind of just sitting there in the back channels and stewing about it with each other and comparing numbers and getting angrier and angrier. And there's always going to be someone who is sitting there and they're taking stock of the situation, and they're going to turn it around on you eventually, because it's going to give them a leg up against you.
And last word, and they got and now I'm like, fuck you. Oh, sorry. I'm like, I'm not giving you the last word.
The family-friendly part of it went out. Earmuffs for every kid. Stop watching. Turn it off.
You got me hot. You got me all heated.
So I get it. I get it. It's a subject that you're passionate about. We're both passionate about
And I
this.
want to help people.
Um,
That's why we've had
yeah.
656 episodes of the Pop XP, with 90% of them having people on with their crowdfunding platforms.
Well,
You know, to,
yeah.
to give creators, of course, there's superstars like yourself, and then
Well,
later on tonight we have Anna, that Star Wars girl, coming on. But but
holy smokes, you got 3 minutes.
yeah, we'll go. Yeah, we'll do it.
Give me 5.
Yeah, and she's awesome. So, um, so that, but we've had creators that this is my first Kickstarter, this is my first Indiegogo, and we don't care. I don't care if you do Kickstarter, I don't care if you do Indiegogo, I don't care where you go. We're here for the creators, and try to be an adult, for goodness sakes.
Oh, well.
You've got a lot of nut jobs out there. You know what I
Let's
mean?
not get crazy. Stop asking the impossible, Billy.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say, though, and you bring up a great point with this, is that essentially what's happened is they've cultivated this entire culture. This has been going on for a while now. This hasn't just been going on since Trump, right? That just became an excuse for everybody to get louder and louder. This has been going on for at least a good 10 to 15 years. Yes. In terms of the stuff building to a crescendo. Mm-hmm. So this is the culture that they cultivated, the culture that they wanted. Largely, which was essentially for people like you, me, a lot of other creators out there. If you weren't going to think like us, if you weren't going to do what we wanted you to do, we want you broke. We want you gone. Right. They've tried to shut me down, you down, many other people down. And they're still doing it, right? So they're cultivating this culture, and this is how it's been, and this is how it's going to continue to be for them. And then eventually when they run out of people that they can't shut down, they're going to turn on each other. And that's usually how all this stuff always goes. Right. But instead of cultivating that culture, which they are to blame for doing that, they could have said, you know what, maybe we don't see eye to eye on some issues, but we do see eye to eye on comic books. And we understand that maybe we have differing reasons for why we think that things aren't going right, but things aren't going right. It's very apparent, right? So all I've heard for 6 or 7 years is about the boogeyman in comics is Comicsgate. Wouldn't it be interesting if there was a word to describe what people are describing right now, which is essentially a controversy and a scandal within the comics industry? Too bad that they used that word back 7 or so years ago to define something that is completely not what it really is. And there's a reason that they did that, obviously, was to get ahead of that, because there were so many things that have come out since that time about comics and the industry and some of the people that work in it. Yeah. But when you're talking about stuff like this, and there's publishers that are, some people are saying, $20, $25 a page rate, which is terrible. Say no, guys. Say no. Don't take that deal. But they do, and then they take it again and again and again, and then they complain about it, and and then they wonder why nothing's getting better. So again, it's that kind of thing where, because you guys cultivated that industry and that mindset, instead of all of us working together, instead of all of us having this conversation, and possibly things could have been fixed or put on a better trajectory at some point, they're the way they are now. Right. So it's really, and then when someone like you comes along again and you're trying to give some good advice, even I've tried to say it, and I've had people come along, and the worst thing you could do to someone who just wants to be mad and just wants to complain is offer them a solution, offer them a roadmap, and say, I don't know if this will work for you, but this is the path I took. Maybe there's a couple different stops along the way that you go, that might actually work for me. I should try that out. Instead of doing that and learning and bettering your path and your life, you're like, I just want to be mad. Can't you just let me be mad? What's wrong with you? Why are you such an awful person?
Yeah, and that's fine. You could be as mad as you want. Like I said, you could do whatever you want. You could love whoever you want. I don't care. But don't go, but don't come after me about it, because I'm not giving you enough attention over it.
Yeah, 100%. And it is what it is at this point. But I know you have to go soon. Before you go, you have a campaign. Yeah. So Shees and Ryaku, this omnibus edition right here, you're at 67,307. You got 559 backers. 19 days left here on this campaign. And look at this, right? What I find is ironic. You're saying this, and you're putting your money where your mouth is. You know, you're not someone who's completely, you're failing like crazy, but you're like, hey guys, follow my advice. And they're like, I'm looking at what you do, and I don't want to repeat what you've done. You
Yeah.
know, so you look at this, you've had success, and you're trying to say, hey, I've had some success. I'm trying to impart some wisdom on you, to help you out, and hopefully you have success too. It's ironic that the whole thing turned the way it did when you get one Eric July who comes on board and makes $1 million in a day, and then
Yeah.
everyone's like, I get 20 on a page. But that's a whole other
And they
conversation.
attack him, and I love
Yeah.
it that they throw their weight and all their love and affection and devotion to these faceless, nameless, not nameless, but faceless, multi-billion-dollar corporations like Marvel and DC. When what Marvel and DC does to comic creators that they deem their creatives so insignificantly that when comic shops shut down for 2 weeks in 2020, they issued a pencils down order to all of their creatives. That's how as I said, insignificant, how minuscule they are considered, and how much they value these creators. So here you got someone that's getting paid $100 a page to pencil, and these companies worth billions of dollars cannot afford to pay.
It
What
should
is
have
it?
been a wake up call for the
200?
entire industry.
Yeah,
It was a wake up call for me
yeah,
that you got to have, at least if you're going to take the job, take a job, make it non exclusive, and then you can still do what you got to do on the side.
right.
And you can have the best of both worlds because you have that other job. It's giving you more of an audience to market your own stuff to when the time comes, or maybe even simultaneously if you are clever about it, and put your focus to that. But instead, a lot of people were just like, oh my God, what do we do now? And what do you mean, what do you do now? Go be independent. You should have been independent, you know?
From the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. There's so many things right now to take advantage of in terms of what you could do and get your stuff out there.
Yep, and we're doing well. I mean, again, thank God for Indiegogo and Kickstarter backers that we've done well over $1 million in the past 3 years in crowdfunding return.
Fantastic,
And
man.
thank you. I mean, and I think everyone deserves a little Billy Tucci. So that's why I'll go on every stream. I'll go on every platform. This is a business. You have to treat this like a business. I do. Again, I have a son going to Penn State next year. A wife, a mortgage. I got pets. I got, I got a kilt. I got to, pay for this stuff somehow. And I got to work. And that's what I'm doing. I'm working. I'm going to Heroes Con tomorrow morning. It's Father's Day weekend.
Oh goodness, wow.
Yeah, people are like, oh, why one of my friends, you're working on Father's Day? Well, I have to. I have to provide for my family. There was a time that I did 23 shows a year. I was doing Comic Cons, and this is when my Marvel and DC work dried up because they said, come over to us. I said, okay, and then you rely on them. Then again, you're at their whim and their insecurities, if you will. So in order to provide for my family, I had to travel almost half the year to earn money because I was doing commissions, I was selling prints, I was selling books. I was buying books from retailers of the books I worked on. Because I would get 5 comps from Marvel or DC. So I'd buy the book. I put an order in. Let me get 50 of these books, and then I would sell them at the shows. And again, living out of a suitcase for a few years because I had to provide for my family and keep keep myself relevant. And then you wonder when we brought She back, almost 3 years ago, with Return of the Warrior, you wonder if people are going to be there. You wonder if people are going to remember her. And man, thanks to you and a lot of my other buddies out there and who are crowdfunders and streamers and all, and the fans especially, they did, Pete. They came back.
Yeah.
And oh my goodness, it's been a wonderful ride, and our numbers keep going up, and we're just keep getting those books out. This year we're gonna launch 4 campaigns this year.
Oh man, wow.
So this is our second
Terrific.
campaign. Yep, our next campaign is August. And there's Anna. I gotta go. So there's Anna.
All right.
All right. So let me.
Thank you so much, Billy.
You got it, brother. Thank you all out there. I have Anna coming on now, so she's got her cosplay thing. I love you, brother. Thank you all out there, and I will see you soon.
All right, we'll catch up again soon. Take
Thanks,
it easy,
pal.
man.
Bye.
All the best. All right, guys, we're going to take a quick break. This is Comic Book Radio, and I'm your host, Peter Cimetti. We'll be right back. 2023 pre-orders. So now this is at 2028. 53 backers on board. There's 17 days left to reach the overall goal of 10,000. And so what we're doing here, in case you haven't heard, we got the campaign on Indiegogo, and we also have it on alternacomics.com. You can go specifically right to alternacomics.com/pre-order, and we've got 141 backers on here with 5,314 raised for a total between both campaigns of 194 backers, 7,342 raised. That's 73% of the goal, and that was updated at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time today. So thank you guys so much. It was great to just get the Indiegogo monkey off our back. We've reached the funding goal there, and we can pretty much just go full steam ahead now with the campaign being on alternacomics.com. Of course, you have the choice, though. You can either support here or on Indiegogo. It's completely up to you. Tomorrow, I will be listing advertising perks for the books. The books are Blood Realm 13, Red Koi 7, Unit 44, number 8, Wolf and Batsy, number 8, and Wolf and Batsy, number 9. So watch out for those ad perks to go up on alternacomics.com tomorrow. They will not be on Indiegogo like previous campaigns. The advertising perks will be on Alterna's site. And as you guys know, full pagers, $25. We got inside back covers for $50, inside front covers for $75, and a back cover for $100. So most of the issues have these ad spots available. Splintering asks, planning to restock those mini print binder sheets anytime soon, Pete? Oh, they sold out? I got to check that. And yeah, we'll definitely restock them. I got to check to see what we've got. I should have another pack. But yeah, we'll definitely restock them. But thank you guys for making this possible. And okay, so tonight we had a lot to talk about with Billy Tucci. If you guys want to join the show and talk to me, I'll be on for another half hour. So let me get that link to you guys here. Here is the link in the chat if you'd care to join and talk about anything from tonight or anything I don't know, maybe that's on your mind comic book wise. Feel free to join the show. Alois says you gotta let the ad makers know they gotta keep in mind there are people that are audio only. Audio only. What do you mean by that? They have audio, right? There's audio on the on the ads. You guys are hearing them, right? Okay, I hope you are. All right, so we got George Peter Gatsis is joining us tonight. What's up, George? What's on your mind?
I just wanted to tell you, I caught your show yesterday, and I thought it was very poignant on what you were talking about. And I want to. It's not about the advertising, but it's just speaking directly to exactly what you were talking about. And this is what I created. Share my screen, and I think you'll be blown away.
Let's see here.
All right, just so you know, on my channel every night we stream live every night at 10 p.m. Okay, but we roast the news. But Fridays and Saturdays, we do a double whammy. We roast movies and the news, right? So here's the thing. Everything that you said about building your channel, and making a community and all that stuff, we have been slowly doing this. Here as an example, here's all the movies that we roasted so far, and we've got lots more coming. But the thing is, it's a long. You said it so eloquently yesterday with your host. It's a long-term process. It's not something that happens overnight. This happened over the many years. With Donnelly, the guy who's got the Immortal Mask comic book. But this is not just a site. I mean, this is pure entertainment. We're not talking about drama on this site, on the channel at all. We're making fun of the movies. We're making fun of the news. That's it. That's as far as the drama goes. And of course we have books to sell too, right? Standard, right? Denali's Immortal Mask, full color, our RJ's Critical Blast books, all available on Amazon. This is available to purchase. This is available to purchase. This is also available to purchase on my own too. It's something. It's a hardcover of the Webtoons comic that I have online. But that's not the thing. The thing I want to show you, Pete. This is the fun part. This is where we created added value to entertain people. We created a video game.
Oh, very nice.
A video game. Okay, so let me just demonstrate this, because everybody keeps talking about entertain people, right? Keep the drama gone, forget the drama, make people happy. Well, how do you make people happy when you're only sitting around for like 1 or 2 hours every night? What about the rest of the time? Are they going to go hunting for more entertainment? Well, yeah, you can, or you can or if you're feeling it, like you want to get a little dopamine hit. Well, here's a game right here.
Oh, very nice. What is that, like like Centipede?
Centipede, Space Invaders, Galaga.
Very nice.
I basically took my knowledge of coding and I reapplied it. But it's not only that. I also have.
But wait, there's more.
There's more. There's more. There's a hard version, and then there's a survive version. So the hard version is all about batch. Let me try that again.
Man, oh man.
Here's the hard version. Okay, it's hard. Now, also there's another game here. It's almost like
all right, George.
No, just so you understand. Yeah. This is the stuff. Right? It's just pure entertainment. But
absolutely.
Here's the whammy. Are you ready for this?
No, I don't think I am. George, when you're you're on the show, let's talk. What's on your mind, George?
Well, the thing that bugs me a lot is you said to yourself, and not that you said it.
And put the link too. Before you continue, put the link in the private chat. This way, I could put it out there for everybody.
Oh, okay, sure. The thing that bugs me the most is that a lot of people think everything's real quick, everything has to happen real quick. You need to have patience. I've been at it for 32 years. If you want to talk about patience, you're looking at the guy right here, right there. This is the guy with patience. 32 years. Don't let stuff get you down. I've been backstabbed quite a bit over the years. I took it in stride. I didn't get angry. I just moved on, because I know the talent that sits within me, and the stuff that I can do. And that's important. That's important to always. Scott Adams said it really well. You have a talent stack. Take an inventory of what your talent is. Oh, if you it's not, I can draw or I can write. No. What is it? What is it that you do? What's your hobbies? What? Make a list. The list is not 1 or 2 things. It's a huge list. Once you make that list, then you will be able to understand just who you truly are and what you can truly produce and what you can do. You Peter, have a huge talent stack. Yeah, and not only a writer, an artist, but you're also a publisher. Yeah, you're also a technical guy regarding printing. You're also a sales guy and a marketing guy. That those 2 elements are very difficult to come by, because it needs actual communication. And the part people say, well, keep talking to people and all that stuff. Yes, you can talk to people, but there's a talent to actually convince someone to open up their wallet and give you the money for a product that you think is really great, that you want to give them back.
Nothing's as easy as what people have been doing it for years, if not most of their life, make it look to be. right? So everyone always sees someone who's very successful or talented or skilled or whatever it may be, and they just think they've always been this way. It's like what I was talking about with Billy.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and effort and patience and all of that with yourself. Patience with yourself. Putting
Yeah.
in that effort with yourself.
Yeah.
Believing in yourself enough that you can do this thing.
Yeah.
And not getting deterred at every single obstacle and bump in the road. That it's a growing process. It takes a while.
Well,
For some people, it takes longer than others. There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone's at their own pace. But the thing is, it's going to be impossible, and you're never going to ever do it or achieve anything if you never get started. So
Yes.
that's the key. Get started.
Yeah, put your best foot forward, or just put a foot forward. Doesn't matter what it is. If you're gonna trip, that's fine. Pick
Yeah.
yourself up. Do it. One of the great things about my background, marketing, advertising, branding. One of the great things. Sometimes a client comes to me and says, "George, can you do this job for me?" I go, "Sure." 15 minutes later, I do the job and I charge them accordingly. What the hell, man? It's only took you 15 minutes. Why are you billing me this much money? Well, okay, let me put it this way.
Would you prefer it took longer?
No. No, my statement to them is very simple. I go, let me put it this way. It took me 2 to 3 decades to become as good as I am, to become real quick as I am. So that way I can bring it to you as quickly as you want it. Well, now, do you want me take my time? I'll give you a call in a couple of weeks. How about that? The price is still going to be the same.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's really, really true. George, thank you so much for stopping by, though, man. Really appreciate it. Everybody, go check out. Is Shavernator? Is that correct?
Yeah, Shavernator. That's correct.
Shavernator.com, and you can find that website.
Play the video game, guys. If anything, just go have fun. Video game.
Absolutely. And George, thank you so much.
And thank you, Pete, for having me on. Hail Comicsgate and Alterna. Good luck, everybody.
Absolutely. Have a great night.
You too.
All right. Let's see. I wanted to answer. Let's see. Splintering says for the show there is no spoken text, so they aren't worth as much of an ad if it's just music. I agree, and I'll get to what's going on with the ads in just a second. And now, Aloise, I see what you mean. Says I meant the sound without words doesn't get across what's being advertised, and that's so important too. Just in advertising on even TV, right? Half the time I'm hearing music, and I go, "What was that for?" Car commercials are notorious for this nowadays, right? A lot of other commercials as well. Now, the thing is that what's happening is people are sending me their trailers. A lot of the time, these people aren't creating an ad necessarily, but I do agree, if you're going to create a trailer, if you're going to create an ad, have some audio in terms of spoken word about what this product is about, even if it's just as simple as you're letting some music play and then at the end, go find this book on Indiegogo, whatever it may be, that kind of a thing, But it is very important to let people know. So I 100% agree about that. But again, what's being sent to me, these aren't ads being created for ads. This is basically me just showing the trailer here, and hopefully some people that are watching actually find it. Maybe they go to wherever it is they're being directed to within the visual at the end usually, and then what comes of it comes of it. But hopefully you guys understand. Shane, thank you so much. Shane's interested in that Shavernator site. So go check that out. Again, if anybody else wants to join the show tonight, I'm going to put the link in again for you guys. And let me know what's on your mind in terms of comic books or in terms of even the conversation I had with Billy TUCCI. I do have a couple other things to share with you while we wait and see who is going to join tonight. A couple different updates. So in terms of Alterna's Winter 2023 campaign, we had a couple bumps in the road with this, but things are back on course. These books are going to the printer tomorrow. And then from there, I wait and get proofs. I'll probably get proofs like Monday or something from them. And then it'll go to print and be put in there probably about 2 to 3 weeks. And then fulfillment in earnest will start. There's already been some fulfillment on this campaign. Now, this is not the current campaign. This is our previous campaign. So you might be wondering, what's up with this? You can see there's a little bit of fulfillment that's already occurred. Where is it? I had it on the site here. Did I not put it up yet? All right, I probably didn't put it up yet. There's about 40 perks that have been sent out. So someone out there might have got a Unit 44 shirt or a collector case insert bundle or some stuff like that. But these books are going to the printer tomorrow, and then we're full steam ahead with the rest of it. If you haven't had a chance to back this yet, and you want to do it on Indiegogo, you could go for it. Otherwise, you can go to alternacomics.com. Also, there is the King Cryptid sign up for issues 5 to 9. This is active right now. We crossed the 200 signups earlier today, so you can go check that out as well. And this is going to be on both alternacomics.com and Indiegogo. And I'll talk about this a little bit more in a second. Looks like we have Aloise with me tonight. What's up, Aloise? What's on your mind?
Hello. I just wanted to pick your brain about, advertising.
Okay, sure. What about?
Like, promote things. Like,
what was that first part? I missed it.
How do you promote things, like, in a way that's not obtrusive and things like that?
How do you promote things in a way that isn't obtrusive? What are you trying to promote specifically?
No, I'm just trying to learn how to promote.
But I can't tell you how to promote unless you're giving me specifics. Like, I would promote a comic different than you'd promote a car or a business or an online service or art commissions or whatever it may be.
Alright, since it's comics, like, how would you go about promoting a comic?
Okay.
Like, I know that people do email lists and
yeah, newsletters are great. That's true. But to get someone to sign up for your newsletter, usually you have to offer some kind of incentive for most people. Many people still they won't need an incentive. They're just interested in what you have. But even then, you have to tease what you're doing and let them know. So you would show some art. You would tell them what your story's about. You would say what your newsletters would be about. If you're going to offer sales on there, if you're going to have sneak peeks, if you're going to have updates about something or whatever it may be. But yeah, newsletters are a great way, and I highly recommend a newsletter. Are you still there, Eloise?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how to make the conversation flow.
Oh, well, what else are you asking about? What are you have to have specific questions about this? Anything specifically you're having problems with?
No, I'm just trying to learn how to advertise, mainly because right now the job that I have, I'm starting out as basically in like trying to do outreach for the place that I work in, and they're training us to basically like the people that call on the phone, and it's like they do outreach via the phone, and
so it's cold calling that you're doing.
Yep.
All right, so it's telemarketing.
Yep.
All right, are you trying to ask about I don't know if I can give you advice on what you should be doing at that job. I don't think that's my place.
Yeah, that's
are you
true.
asking for that kind of advice? That's, like I said, it's very different.
Yeah.
So cold calling doesn't involve any sense of promotion. That's not promotion, cold calling. Cold calling is straight into sales and inquiries. So it's not about essentially what you'd be doing is you're calling up and you're saying, this is what we have to offer. Is this of interest to you? Or this is a service you currently have. Is this a service you're happy with? That's most cold calling. I don't want you to divulge the details of your employer or what it is you'd be calling about. But if you're looking to back to comics, and I'm hearing a little bit of echo here. I'm going to put echo cancellation on. Going back to comics, if you're looking to share your comics, your art, whatever it may be, always approach it in that mindset of sharing. So promotion is not selling. Keep that in mind. People often confuse promotion is selling. Promotion is the act of making someone aware of what you're doing. Promotion is not selling. Selling is go here to buy it. That's not promotion. Now, you can do both in the same thing, but they are still separate. So when you have something to promote, essentially go into it with the mindset of you are sharing this with someone. So that's all it is. You want them to know about it. And that's all promotion really is. So it's not as intimidating as most people think it is. And if you approach it in an earnest way, you'll have more success that way too. It won't seem as skeevy as, oh, you obviously just want me to buy this, you know, even though, like, we both know when someone's promoting something, they probably want you to buy it. But at least there can be a conversation without any pretense, without any pressure of just, hey, check this out. That's it. No more, no less. You know, if you're interested in it, you know what to do. You know where to go. So always approach it like that. I hope that helps.
Yeah, it does.
All right.
Yeah,
You have any
that's
other
about it.
questions, or that's it? All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Aloise, for joining me tonight, and thank you for the question. I hope you have a great night.
You too. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you. No problem at all. All right. So we got about a couple minutes left. If someone wants to join, I'll take one more person. Otherwise, that'll be that, and we will wrap it up. Splintering has something good here to say. It says, comics, start making connections with other indie creators ASAP, which means, for those that don't know, as soon as possible. You'd be surprised. The other day I used ASAP, and they thought I was saying a slur to them. It's like, oh, what is going on in the world? So as soon as possible. Give a small bonus for signing up for the email list. Post art on social media, even if it isn't related to the project. Agreed. Yeah, it's sharing. It's sharing and directing. You know, here's the thing, and here's where you could go to find out more about the thing. That's it. Okay, so King Cryptid, this right here is on Indiegogo. If you are signed up on alternacomics.com, you've got the newsletter, you're all good to go. You're all set. You don't have to do anything else. So some people have asked me, I wanted to sign up for this and get notified when it launches. I want to back on the website, the Alterna site. But do I have to still sign up on Indiegogo? No, you don't. If you want to back on Indiegogo, you'll get that notification directly from Indiegogo. If you want to back on alternacomics.com, you haven't signed up on the newsletter yet, I encourage you that you do. You get 10% off your order if you do sign up. If you're already signed up, though, you're set. You don't have to do a damn thing. Easy peasy. We got a couple of great things here. So on this King Cryptid, 5 to 9, that's 5 issues. We got monsters, mysteries, cover-ups, and conspiracies. The supernatural hero known as King Cryptid is back. And this time he's battling a yeti in a blizzard, a dragon on a stormy mountaintop, a werewolf in a small town, aliens that are abducting children, and mischievous shapeshifters known as Puckwudgies. So he's pretty busy. He's a busy guy. The creative team on board, we got Nick Hunter, Frankie B. Washington, Alex Jovich, Keir Covington, and colors on issue 5 and 9 by Christian Rossi. And of course, the series is created, written, and lettered by yours truly. As you can see in this image over here, we got the Yeti, the White Mountain Yeti on the left. We got that dragon, the Dragon Vanderkin, right next to him on the right. We got Wendy the werewolf. We got these kids here. We see them in issue 3. They're back. This is a 1987 Halloween flashback issue. We find out what happens to this group of kids that changes their lives forever. This is the group of Eric, Jeff, Ernie, and Linda. And then on the far right here, we got the Puckwudgies that are terrorizing poor old King Cryptid. They are playing some dirty tricks on him. So sign up for a notification here. We got a great campaign coming out. It launches on July 1st. And again, the link is in the description of the show, but I'm also going to put the link right here in the chat. And thank you so much, Doc. I appreciate that. I saw you had wanted to join, Doc. If you still do want to join, please do so in the next minute or two. Otherwise, I will close down, but I'll give an exception for you if you do manage to join and you want to talk for a minute or so. Other than that, everybody, thank you guys so much. The first King Cryptid campaign was amazing. And it's hard for me to summarize it as anything other than that. 5 to 9, we got a lot of great stories. The world gets a little bit crazier for KC, and we are really starting to build up several other plot lines as well. So I really hope you guys are on board for that. Issues 5 to 9, again, 5 issues on this campaign. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we got a lot of different things. We got a new glow-in-the-dark shirt, trading card binder, trading card series with more trading cards, right? 10 more because we got front and back covers, and we put those on the trading cards. I've got another collector box for you guys. So if you guys have the first one, you can start collecting them in order. There's 5 in total that are going to be made, and they create an overarching image that connects, of course. Nice little box set of King Cryptid and all kinds of other great stuff. But we'll get to that in just a bit. Dr. Mask says having technical difficulties. Hopefully next show. Don't worry about it. I understand. Rick Sailor says King Cryptid. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, we're ready to go. We're ready to go. The back covers that are the flip covers are going to be revealed on the campaign. I just revealed the front covers, I think on the last, maybe 2 shows ago, something like that. So if you do want to check them out, they are available on that show. It's the King Cryptid. I believe it's titled King Cryptid is Back. I think that's the name of the show. Either way, you'll get to not only see those covers, but learn more about the character and some of the characters coming up in those next 5 issues. Other than that, Alterna's campaign, we got those August pre-orders up, so make sure, please give that a visit. Even if you're thinking of backing on Indiegogo, please first check out the website. Who knows, maybe you'll like it better on there. You certainly can get a lot of other different things on there that are not being offered on the Indiegogo, so maybe check it out. Otherwise, hey, it's up to you guys. Thank you so much either way for all of your support, especially for all the books that we have here. A lot of great content here at Alterna, a lot of great characters and stories, and we really appreciate it. Everybody across the board, all the creators at Alterna, really appreciate your support on these. Gerald Lang says, yes, going to back both campaigns next Friday. Oh, thank you so much, Gerald. Man, I thought you backed already, but geez, all right. Yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. And no problem at all, Doc. I'll talk to you next time. Tomorrow night, I have Sci-Fi for Me on the show, which I believe 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock Eastern. Pending the fact that there's no crazy thunderstorms that occur that knock our power out, which thankfully we did not have that tonight. We had literally, we were going to start tonight 8 o'clock, right at 8 o'clock. I was like, well, I'm glad I didn't start at 8. I'm glad we pushed it to 8:30. So either way, tonight was a great show. I'm glad we had Billy on. We talked about a lot in the first half hour, and we got to spend some time with you guys as well, talking to you guys about various different things and some of your questions. Blood Realm merch. Yes, Rob Geronimo will be on my show again this Friday, the 16th, and he'll be launching his campaign for Blood Realm merch. And that's going to be an interesting campaign. Lots of cool stuff on there, too. And Rob's got T-shirts. He's got this whole thing where you can, if you back certain sides, the Iron Wolves or Targanis and his side of the Blighted, we'll see who wins. Let's hope the Iron Wolves win for the fate of Mordrin. All right, guys. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern. I'll have Sci-Fi for Me, Jason at Sci-Fi for Me on the show. Everybody take it easy, and I'll see you then. All right. Have a good one.